Guess who may be sick? Me. My voice doesn't sound, actually, it's sounding pretty normal now. Okay, this morning when I woke up, I had a very like raspy voice, but it wasn't even like a sexy raspy voice. It was giving Neville Pepperman, like, you will rue this day type of energy. And I was like, what the heck? No, I cannot be sick. Okay, you see that it comes in and out. I think that the ginger tea I had this morning really helped. So I'm going to make a second little cup of tea here. And then thankfully my mom made some lentejas for us. So I'm gonna heat that up for my lunch. But I am hoping that I am not sick. This is the ginger tea I was talking about. It just is ginger with honey. It is from H Mart, and I think it really helped me this morning. So I'm just taking a couple of spoonfuls. And then once the water is warm, I'll mix it in. And then I'll also add in this little té de manzanilla packet, chamomile tea. Yesterday, I started out vlogging with the intention to vlog, but then I got sucked into editing because I wanted to post my video. I don't know how often I'll post Vlogmas videos. We'll see. It might just be like a weekly thing, but for me right now, that would be very consistent because I have not been the most consistent. So we're just going to have fun and post as we can. I don't know why, but I've just been craving queso panela this entire week. Like, it just, everything else sounds meh, but queso panela sounds so good. Finally, time to dig in. It looks so good. I love myself sopa de lenteja, lentil soup. It's so good and yummy. Also, I love these spoons. Something about them being this long and tiny makes me feel so dainty. So they're my favorite. That's hitting the spot. Also, I got this little dog advent calendar for Daisy to open up. It is currently December 2nd, but as you can see, we did open some of these up. Daisy was impatient. She couldn't wait. We dug into these, but we slowly discovered that it is the same treat every single day. I thought she was going to get a mix of different things. All right, Daisy, let's open this up. These are just like the human version of the chocolate advent calendars. I'm like, it's the same thing every day. These. But she does enjoy them though. I guess it would have helped if I just read. It does literally say freeze-dried chicken dog treats. But as I've said before, reading instructions, directions will literally be my downfall because I never read that stuff. I'm like, I'll figure it out later. All right, I am home from work and we are going to go to the library. I want to just sit down, color in my new cozy Christmas coloring book, maybe do some research. I'm going to take my research journal just in case. I'm going to take my markers, and then a new addition to my bag are these little Clorox wipes because, I don't know, the keyboards at the library are a little grody, so we're taking these just to kind of wipe them down. And then some lotion because we always need that. And we're ready to go. I'm gonna sit down and watch a little Christmas movie on my phone and just feel cozy and comfy at the library. We reserved a little room today called the Pod. It is so busy here today. I was like, I need some peace and quiet. I mean, it was
quiet. No one's yelling in the library, but I just wanted to be alone. So now we can sit down and color in peace. Gonna wipe down the table though. I'm not sure who sat here before me. It's kind of funny though. I'm sure they think I'm studying, but I'm just coloring.
Honestly, I have the majority of my Christmas shopping done because this year I was a good shopper. I got ahead of the curve. Usually I wait till last minute and then I'm struggling to get everybody's gift, but not this year. This year I was on top of it. So let's wrap presents and catch up on my nutrition appointments. Okay. Let's start off by recapping on the month of November. I allowed myself to enjoy food a little bit more. I was having more coffees. I was eating out a little bit more. And I don't know how to say that without making it sound like I was doing that in excess, like I was doing it every day, because I wasn't. For the majority, I was still sticking to my meal plan as best as I could. Percentage-wise, about 75 to 80% of the time, I was sticking to my meal plan. But with that, the 20% of the time, I was allowing myself to enjoy eating out a little bit more. And I did try my best in those times where we did go out to make wiser choices. So I would try to have maybe something that was a little bit more high in protein or lean protein, or, you know, try to avoid carbs wherever I could. When it came to the matchas, I would have just the regular ceremonial matcha, which has no sweetener. I would swap out for almond milk, and then the sweetener I would use were like 2 little packets of Splenda sugar, so that wasn't bad. But then coffee, I would have it as regular, like however it came with whole milk and everything. And so I was honest with my nutritionist about all of this, because my overall goal with going to the nutritionist and this health journey that I'm on, fitness journey, whatever you want to call it, is to make a lifestyle change for the better. So I, told my nutritionist, this is what happened this month, and I'm a little nervous to see what the results are. I don't know how the results are going to come out. I still felt comfortable in my clothes. Perhaps I didn't lose anything. I didn't gain anything. I just felt kind of the same, but I still felt comfortable. I still felt good. And so I was just curious to see how my body would have reacted now that I've added this stuff back into it. And she was very understanding. I also told her, my nerves about the holiday season and how just with Thanksgiving, like that was a little tempting and just wanting to eat a little bit more. And so she completely understood, which is what I love about her. I feel like there are some nutritionists that will scold you for not being perfect, but with her, she's very understanding, and she knows that the holiday seasons are hard and that there's a lot of temptation. You want to enjoy, what other people are having. You want to have fun. And so, there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. But what we want to learn is that balanced mindset and knowing how to make good, conscious decisions. And she's more focused on us creating that more balanced mindset, which I absolutely love. And I feel like that's really helping me to feel like all of my fears, concerns with this are completely normal, and it makes me feel okay. It makes me feel seen. It makes me want to keep going because I'm not doing anything wrong by simply enjoying things or allowing myself to enjoy things a little bit more on special occasions. And so with that, my results were exactly what I expected, and I stayed the same. I did gain 0.44 pounds, so a little under half a pound, but that's 5 weeks worth of time that passed and I only gained 0.44 pounds. Like, that honestly is awesome, and not what I would have wanted, but what I think I needed, because I think that was such a good reminder that my body worked so hard for me these last 5 weeks. Now I'm motivated to work hard for my body and pay it back in return for the fact that it allowed me that time to have that balance and understand the importance of that balance, but re-understanding the importance of maintaining that discipline and knowing how to kind of balance everything, because that was just November, one holiday, my birthday. Now we're in December. That is when people have posadas, potlucks, you have Christmas Eve, you have New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, and then comes the guilt after this entire month because now you've allowed yourself to maybe enjoy food a little too much. And so then that's when people go into January wanting to go in hard. They say, I'm never going to do this again, I'm going to change my life, and then they don't, because they view food with a restriction mindset, which she actually drew out a little graph for me. I'll show you guys right here. And basically it's talking about restrictions, and when you look at food with a restriction mindset, it leads to you wanting that thing more, which then leads to eating or overindulging, and so then that leads to the guilt, and then that leads to this overcompensation where you're trying to work out for 3 hours, or you're restricting yourself for an entire month because all of a sudden you feel guilty for this overindulgence in something, and then that just is this endless loop because then now you're viewing it as a restriction. And so that's what keeps you stuck. And honestly, I think I needed that reminder, because sometimes I do feel guilty for having that matcha, for having that coffee, for going out with friends and having that burger, but like, it's okay. And so then we also have this little calendar where I'm going to write out all of my meals, and it's very helpful because I can kind of plan out where I already know that I'm going to be eating, you know, other foods that are not in my meal plan. Like, we have little parties and stuff, and so what I can do is I can plan ahead for that. So for example, the days where I have a little potluck or something, I can make sure that I'm eating my breakfast and my lunch as best as I can, and then allow myself to enjoy that dinner. And then in the grand scheme of things, those days were only 6 days in an entire month, and maybe it's only one meal. But if I look back at that without having this visual, I would think to myself, oh my god, I've been doing so bad. And then that leads to the mindset of, oh, I've already done bad, let me just keep doing bad. I already committed the sin, what's another sin to commit, you know? So again, it's just being more mindful, making the best choice, making wiser choices, and it's okay, it's normal. And I want to be as open and honest as I possibly can about my fitness journey, my weight loss journey, and it's not perfect, it's never going to be perfect. Sure, you can dedicate yourself for 3 months, reach your goal weight, but then what? Do you just revert back to your old self? You get comfortable and then you gain it all back and then you start over again. There's that loop. That's what we're always stuck in, loops. And so what we have to do is build the good habits, break the bad patterns, so that way it becomes this new, healthier, balanced lifestyle change, so that you can enjoy foods that you want to enjoy, but then also eating as clean or as good as you possibly can the majority of the time. And that's exactly what I want. Like, I don't want to live a restrictive life. Like, I want to enjoy that coffee, I want to enjoy that matcha, I want to enjoy going out to eat, and that's okay. And if that means that I have slow progress, that means that I have slow progress. It's okay. Okay, let's continue. my god, I hate wrapping presents. I hate it. Sorry, contrary to popular belief, I think wrapping presents is so annoying. I just can't. Okay, after I had a second to breathe, I am back in it. You know how there's these random services that people will provide, and sometimes you think to yourself, like, why would anyone start a business for that when it's so simple? Like, I don't know, installing a frame. You know, there's people that will post on like Craigslist or somewhere, Facebook Marketplace, that they'll go in and install that frame for you, and people will literally pay for it. But in my head, I think to myself, like, I would do that myself to avoid having to pay. Now though, wrapping these gifts, the booths at the mall where people charge you an arm and a leg to wrap gifts are making more and more sense to me. Like, if I had the money, I genuinely would just take all my gifts to them and have them wrap it so that I didn't have to do it, because that would make me enjoy gift giving so much more, because I love the act of buying the gift and picking something out for someone that they're gonna love. And yes, I could throw these in a bag, but there is no fun in gift bags. It is so much more fun to watch somebody rip their present open, and I know that for them, like, it's actually, for me personally, like, I love ripping open presents more than I love opening a bag and pulling out my gift. Like, this just adds to it. So I will struggle for the enjoyment of ripping and watching people rip open their presents, but like I said, those booths are making more sense to me. I definitely would pay if I had the money. What's something that you would pay other people to do? Maybe another thing would be like washing my dishes. Genuinely, like, if I could have somebody come in and wash the dishes, we'd be fine. And guess who got sick? Me. Don't mind the bangs. I'm trying to train them a little bit, so I have these little pins to guide them going in their respective directions. My current best friends are this tissue box, this nasal spray, and my blanket. Currently working on my breakfast. My body is throbbing. It feels just like weak, but thankfully, honestly, it's just congestion. Earlier this week, I was feeling a little weird in my throat, but I think it was just the head cold, or like the cold coming in. I kept waking up last night to like so much congestion, and my nasal spray came in clutch, helped me fall asleep, but here we are.
I still need a what? One? Well, you want all others. Ain't no place better. Why don't you run along there and wait? I just got one more thing I got to do. Won't be long.
Don't mind me, I've just been laying here working on my farm, watching Harry Potter. The other day we went to the library. I actually ended up watching the beginning of it because, as I mentioned, the library was so packed. I spent more time trying to find somewhere to sit. Eventually I settled on reserving that little room, but by the time I got settled, decided what to watch, started coloring, my sister was already done, so we ended up leaving. Since I have time today, I was like, let me finish watching Harry Potter. I started working on my farm, and now I'm getting a little hungry, so since I'm sick, it is the perfect excuse to make my favorite caldo de papas con queso.
However, I do only have 57 grams of queso panela left. So I'm actually going to mix in some ground beef this time. I've never had it like that. I assume it should be good because it's not like it's anything different. But the difference that I'm missing in my protein, because I'm supposed to do 120 grams of protein, I'm going to do in the ground beef. So I'm going to cook the ground beef on the side, and then once it's ready and I'm ready to put it into the caldo, I'll go ahead and do that. So we are going to start with the chile, tomate, cebolla. Perfect. Let me see if I can taste. Dang it. I feel like it's good, but I can't taste it. No. Well, I guess since I can't taste it, it's fine. It's so weird because like I can taste the spices, if that makes sense, but not taste the spices at the same time. It's like I know there's spices in there, but I can't fully taste it. So annoying, but whatever. The worms from the caldito I think will still do me good. Okay, wait, I'm curious if I can taste or if it's just that maybe that needed more salt or something, more flavor. So I'm gonna try an olive. I need to taste something else that I feel like there's flavor in it already regardless. So come on, okay, come on now, grab an olive. So I feel like if I can't taste the olive, then it's because I can't taste. But if I can taste the olive, then that needs more salt. No! Dang it! I hate it. It's like I can taste the olive, but I can't at the same time. Like part of me, sorry for the shaking. Like part of me can taste it, but I can't fully taste it. That's so annoying. And I'm not even fully congested right now because I did the drop. So like I can breathe, but I can't taste, and because I'm still congested in there. While my food is cooking, let's work on my coloring page that I didn't finish the other day. I always forget that this little bag comes with this little plastic pad that you can just slide under your page so that it doesn't leak through, and I forgot, and so it did leak a little bit, but it's totally fine. This looks so good. I'm genuinely so sad I might not be able to taste this. Who's breaking into my house in the middle of the day? So sad that I cannot taste. I know that this is so good and I cannot taste it.
¿Haciendo de cenar, mi niña? ¿Huele rico?
Hice para mí,
Ah, qué
pero no lo puedo probar.
Guay, pues,
No tengo sabor. Y no estoy ni mormada porque ya me eché el spray. ¿Lo quieres probar?
Dale, sí, pero con otra cuchara.
Pues obvio. Es caldo de papas con queso y le eché carne molida para agarrar mi proteína, pero no sé si le hace falta sal, nada, no sé. ¿Está bueno? ¡Ah!
Okay.
What?